Bruce, your association had your AGM recently.
That's correct.
And from what we can understand, you're quite happy with the two municipalities, or is that the wrong impression?
Put it this way, the municipalities as they're operating today are far better than they were 2-3 years ago. With the two new municipal managers, Maxim Bini for Hibiscus Coast and Didi Naidu on UGU, they've made a tremendous change to both municipalities in the way they're operating. And they've started, in both cases, what I think is going to be a major turnaround. And we'd like to be part of that turnaround process. They have still got a long way to go in both cases, but the point is that they're taking steps to get there. And I think that's a great improvement in our area.
Let's look at UGU, the water problem, sanitation, anything you can identify there?
Okay, well, we all know what the problems have been in UGU. I mean, they've got two major issues that they're responsible for. That's the delivery of potable water and the handling of the sewage systems. On the water side, over a period of 20 years or so, the population or the usage of water has outgrown the ability of the current infrastructure to actually provide that water correctly. Pipes that should have been changed have not been changed. They're outdated. There's still asbestos pipes in place, and they don't have the capacity to deliver the amount of water required in the peak periods. And hence, in the peak periods, because of the great demand on the supply of water, you've got an increase in the number of pipes bursting, because they can't take that volume or that pressure. Now, Didi Naidu has outlined to us their plans to replace the pipes that need replacing, to increase the capacity of delivery of those pipes, and to upgrade and increase the capacity of the purification plants, so that we should be able to still be able to provide the total requirements in peak periods up to 20 years' time. Now, that should be coming into being on the initial planning by the beginning of the next financial year. Whether they achieve that or not, I don't think is too serious, because it's underway and it is happening, and it will be achieved even if it's a few months out. And once that happens, the water problem, from the point of view of their ability to deal with or to purify the water and get it to where it's required, should be resolved. But we've got two other problems which he pointed out to us recently, and that is Eskom, because every time Eskom closes down, you can't run the pumps, and the drought situation that exists in that. So that a lot of the sources of supply of water are drying up. Now that happens, it's going to be beyond their control, but he has been putting plans into place to resolve that issue. The use of generators on mobile platforms to move them from one pump to another pump, etc., to try and avoid the Eskom power outages from putting a pump out of action for too long a period of time, because if it is, then it takes a much longer period of time to get it up and running again, even though when the electricity comes back in. So he's got those sort of plans in place. He's also got additional water bowsers in place to meet the interim requirement while the pipes are still giving problems and while they're still replacing them. And in addition to that, he brought in over the holiday period a whole lot of JoJo tanks, which were mounted on the back of vehicles and could be moved to any place which was without water, and they'd keep the JoJo tanks topped up and thereby be able to give a temporary supply of water to that particular location. It was a good plan, it worked. And although we did have water outages in some of the areas over that period, they dealt with them straight away. But it's not only that, his whole handling of the staff, shall we say, and the operation has tightened it up so much now that you haven't got this overspending on overtime that was taking place before. You don't see so many municipal vehicles, UGU vehicles, running around after hours being used for private purposes. This sort of thing that's come into it, the actual tightening up of a management structure seems to have been done so well. And I can see that this whole UGU thing is going to become very good in time. But like anything, it's not going to change overnight. They've got to catch up with 20 years of mismanagement and now put it right. And that doesn't happen overnight.
Well, he did it at Mdoni. He might be able to do it here.
I'm sure he will.
Many people will be watching this, many ratepayers. Now, as chairman of the association, what is your message at this stage?
Well, I think the days of our sort of continually, shall we say, contesting everything with the municipality need to be put behind us. We know that those two municipal managers are trying to sort the problems out. I think the way we can help, or the way the problem can be sorted out faster, is if we work more in a cooperative basis with them. I believe they both are prepared to work with us. We are certainly prepared to work with them. And if we can do that together, we'll get these problems solved so much faster than they would otherwise be solved. We don't believe that it's our job to do their job, if you like to put it that way. But we do have a wealth of experience within the ratepayers' organisations. And where they need assistance from us, they can call on it. And we won't go in there to do the job for them, but we will help them with the experience of the individuals, their backgrounds, etc., where they can help, where experience might be lacking among some of the sections of the municipalities. And we are prepared to come in there and sit with them and mentor new, young managers coming in, etc., and help them find their feet and help them get started. As I say, our approach is not to do their job, but to work with them to make things better and bring them to the sort of level they should be.
Bruce, thank you very much, and best of luck. And on behalf of the ratepayers, thank you for your part in the whole scheme of things.
Well, thank you.